Three, two. What is up, you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful specimens? I am Landon, your degenerate co host, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Guys podcast, which is not even a podcast right now because that doesn't premiere to February 21st. Real excited. Can't wait to talk to you guys about that. But right now, I want to do something that I've been wanting to do. I talked about this in the horror news video that got uploaded recently on the channel, and that is the Insidious live show. Because when I was thinking about it, I actually do think that this video does, or this show does deserve a little bit more coverage. And I decided to give this video or this show its own little video on the YouTube channel. So I don't know how long I'm going to ramble on for this. It definitely won't be like the last one. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna close that real quick. I'm gonna close some tabs before I do this. So yeah, I thought it'd be funny to go through and actually just look at some of the reviews for the Insidious live show and look at some of these articles. So without further ado, let me just share my screen. Okay, we got my screen shared now, and what we're gonna do is I've got the thing pulled up, and we are gonna talk about the Insidious live show. So let's start with this article from comicbook.com. The immersive live theater experience Insidious, The Further You Fear, has been canceled entirely just after a few performances, which actually, if you look through, it's actually only been four performances, and the show was announced back in October, and some fans of the horror film franchise were excited to see the new take on it. I thought about maybe going to the show in either St. Louis or Cincinnati because that is close to me. But I don't think I'll be doing that anymore just because the entire show has been canceled. So the show, Insidious, The Further You Fear, promised 80 minutes. Yes, 80 minutes of terror, featuring characters and concepts from the popular film franchise. Those who saw the show said that it did not live up to the pitch, nor even the standards did they expected from a live show in general. Several viewers told WXYZ that there was no seat or there was no set, and the performances were writing were more laughable than anything else. So right away, not very good for a horror show. You're supposed to be scared, and I get the comedy comes with the show, but I did not go to watch a laughable experience. I wanted to be scared out of my pants. I wanted my pants to crawl off of my body and leave the theater. I know that's not possible. But an actor involved in the touring company told WXYZ that The Further You Fear has been canceled and that it seems to be backed up by the way ticket vendors are behaving. According to several commenters on Reddit, their tickets for the upcoming shows have been refunded without warning. So this confirms one of my points of thing that I said in the last video, that they were working on trying to get refunds, and so now you're at least getting your money back, so you don't have to sit through what people are calling not a good show. I don't want to call it utter garbage because I didn't personally see it, but maybe, just maybe, it was utterly garbage. But the tickets are also no longer on sale, so you're not seeing Insidious unless you have a time machine or somebody recorded it. But the producers of the show have not said that the tour is canceled altogether. But once they start refunding tickets, yeah, I think it's pretty much canceled. Borders did get a statement from the Fisher Theater saying, "We are in touch with the producer of the Insidious The Further You Fear regarding the weekend engagement at the Fisher Theater. And once they hear back from them, we will be in touch with the Insidious fans regarding their feedback on the show." It also says that the tickets were between $70 and $100 per ticket. Wow. Which, I mean, is not, like, that's pretty much what you pay, but they needed to workshop this. It's kind of a letdown, said Jill. "We were surprised when we sat down and there was no set, just wasn't all what you were advertised as. Definitely would not recommend the show and was very disappointed and felt I could use my money in better places. The first three movies are now on Peacock and Hulu if you want to watch. The fourth, Insidious Last Key, is available for rent or purchase, and Red Door is streaming on Netflix, so if you want to check those out, they're actually pretty fun and pretty watchable. I enjoyed them all. And yeah, that is some of the things. I did write down a few reviews that I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. Let me close out my tab real quick. Go back to Riverside, and we are back. I don't think that I am sharing my screen anymore. If I am, I don't know. Alright, we are back on camera. So here's some reviews I have written down. I definitely would not recommend the show, and I was just very disappointed and felt it could use my money in better places by Dylan Sides. Sub high school production. The acting was terrible. The sound quality was off, and not even attempting to be scary. This should have been workshopped a lot more before going live. So, from the reviews right now, I guess this really does suck booty cheeks. Big old, fresh pile of duty after you ate the chili beans your mom cooked for dinner the other night. I was really disappointed, one person wrote on the Reddit thread, which features dozens of negative reviews. The only expectation I had going into, well, it was promise, a live horror experience. I didn't find it to be scary at all. I didn't connect with any of the characters of the plot. I felt like a high school play to me. Not worth the price of the ticket or the time spent watching it. Dang. This is getting torn up in the review department, so I guess go see a high school production of Music Man. Probably better. I think the Music Man is better. Another called it painfully horrendous. One noted they almost fell asleep. Like me during Madam Web. I'd never seen so many people leave a show early. Like Madam Web. So they should have called this Insidious. The Madam Web experience. Bring it. Josh has found another funny review that he wants to show me, so I'm going to let him come in and bring me this review because I do not have that saved. And here he comes. You can see him in the mirror. There he is. There's Josh.
Hey, everybody.
He said, alright, Creepy Slice 9659 says, it was not immersive at all. The audience volunteers were plants, and they had a theater employee come tell a story. Yeah, she was in the show the whole time being obnoxious and bad at acting. Seriously, the dumbest shit I have ever seen. I had to go home and watch a horror movie to get my fix. I'm actually proud the crowd wasn't booing. I really imagine that they had a plant come in and, like, what if they planted the audience? What if people in the audience were planted? Like, what if people were like, they do something scary and people are like, oh my god. Like, I want to be the dude in the audience that's like, horrible movie, but it's in the back, like, woo, I love this. Me and the director went to college together. They asked the audience members about local ghost stories, and they had 5 volunteers come up on stage and be part of the show. They seemed to be plants, but not sure, so that just confirms my theory that the audience was plants. Yes. Could you imagine you go to a show and, like, you're in the middle of, like, rural Kentucky. I'm doing that because I'm from Kentucky. But one second, I'll look at that review in 1 minute. But they're like, all right, so tell me some local legends about Kentucky. And then they just do a show about that. And, like, did they actually do an Insidious show, or did they use local ghost legends to tell, like... The premise was paranormal investigators affiliated with the Insidious franchise doing a conventional discussion show. However, real spooky stuff occurs and it gets away from them. Were they just trying to recreate the scene in The Conjuring 2 where, like, the shit goes haywire and shit? Like, matter of fact, just call it Insidious the Seance, and there you go. Boom. Better. Oh, this was generally the worst show I have seen. I've had high expectations. It was really let down. I am a huge Insidious fan, and I felt like it was hardly like the movies. Really bad acting, horrible jokes, boring content, etc. I hope they turn it into something good at some point, because if it done right, it would be an awesome show to see. So at least you've got some positives in there. Now, one thing I want to mention before we get to any more reviews is they just announced the Insidious 6 movie is being pushed back till 2026, and I wonder, does it have anything to do with the negative review of all the Insidious live shows? Could that, like, be affecting what's going on? Like, could they be like, hey, since this has gone bad, we're going to go back and work the story so we don't have negative reviews on the movie? Or, like, what is going on with that movie? Maybe they haven't even started filming. Maybe the idea for the movie was the idea for the show and they were going to do it like that. I don't know. My mind is going a million places right now, but, like, I don't know. Maybe. back to the reviews. I'm gonna do one more review and then probably gonna give some closing thoughts because I don't want this movie or video to go very long. But my partner and I just left the theater, and we and the majority of the audience can't believe the train wreck we just witnessed. How in production's right mind did they think the Insidious fan base, or any horror fan base, would appreciate that the middle school level of shit in a Blender comedic performance? There was nothing scary, just some loud bangs. The acting was painful, and the story could not have been more weak. I want to talk about there were some loud bangs. Were the loud bangs in the show, or did somebody just hit their head on the back of the thing, trying to, like, knock themselves out to get a better experience than this shit show? I would be livid had we paid for good seats, but we purposely bought as cheap as we could because we didn't know what to expect. Holy shit, that was bad. This is, I don't know, like, maybe horror movies don't belong as live shows is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know. You guys tell me down in the comments. Did any of you guys actually go to see this? If so, leave your reviews. I'd love to interact with you. But yeah, this has been Insidious, the live show, and the disaster that it was, closing after 4 performances. Anyways, I love you guys. Remember to reel it in. And my weird advice, since I always like to end the show with weird advice, let me think of something that comes to mind. Take showers instead of spraying yourself down with Febreze. Thank you guys. I am out.